the mcrib is actually human meat.
Most religions, if not all of them, were created to control the masses.
Do you think there's any secret genocides going on right now?
Yeah, we want to try those now?
Yeah, let's try some fucking smelling salt.
Fuck. Yeah, I felt it, bro. I actually thought I had tinnitus for the longest time, but then I discovered that it was my alarm clock.
Shut the fuck up.
This was just a random thought that I had. Do you guys think that serial killers are made or born that way?
Well, I wouldn't say they're born that way. Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, like through, let's say...
I took that out of the context. I thought you meant like they're literally like manufactured, like the government deploys them, serial killer.
Wait,
like,
you
what?
think that? Oh.
No, that's what I thought you meant by
Oh,
made. I get what you mean. I think they're made, yeah.
Yeah, like government plans? No. I mean through like the human condition where certain experiences, how they grow up, people that they know, their parents for sure. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's that or there's something in their brain that they just gotta kill?
I mean, just judging off what I know from like documentaries of serial killers, I think it is just like their surroundings that cause it, right? I mean, I don't know enough about it. I've only seen.
Yeah, don't ask me if that's right, because
No, not entirely.
It's all speculation.
No, what I think, and I've been thinking about this a lot lately. Not necessarily about
like,
serial
why
killers.
Am I a serial killer?
No, but more or less.
Why do I get this urge to kill?
The like babies, like my niece, for example. Like I just went over and saw. I have two nieces. One's like 5, and then the other's a few months old. I actually don't know exactly how old she is, but anyways, it's like she already has a personality. You know what I mean?
Right.
And her sister, who's like 5 now, has a personality as well. Or she's 4. Sorry, has a personality as well. But I think, like when she was a baby, she was like more like stone face, kind of like always just like serious and like not a happy baby. Now like her sister's like a happy baby. So I think like, maybe I've said it before, but it's probably like 80-20, like 80% like your, maybe that percentage is off, but like 85% to 15% of the 80% being you're just like, that's like your surroundings, and 20% being you're just born that way.
Right. Yeah, I think you're right, or to some degree, because you see a lot like the pattern where serial killers, their upbringing was usually pretty bad.
Yeah.
Or their parents were super abusive. They just grew up in terrible conditions. But also there's plenty of people that have grown up in bad conditions where they're not serial killers. They don't hold some innate grudge against their parents that they feel like they need to fulfill through killing people. I think it's super interesting though, because what is that like difference? Is it something in the brain where they need to?
Well, do we
they
know?
Feel like killing?
Are there any like popular serial killers that had like a normal growing up? Because I feel
not
like
that I know of.
Everyone that I know of like has some fucked up childhood or something.
Right.
I think we need to segregate them too between like one-time mass murderers and then like serial killers. Like you're segregating them, right? Like because I think they're completely different.
Yeah, serial killer's its own thing.
Yeah.
Especially when they have patterns of the type of people that they kill. Like most serial killers will be killing only women, or it's some minority, like some race thing. Mm-hmm. Could be anything. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer was mostly gay men, right?
Yeah.
And I think they were
gay
mostly
African American.
Yeah, usually minorities.
I think all of them are minorities.
But he's one of those serial killers that is super self-aware and able to like analyze himself and why he's like that. And I think he mentioned that he didn't really do it because of race. He just killed people that were attractive to him and that he wanted to keep. And Ed Kemper is also one of them that's really like introspective and like talks about why the way he is.
Did you ever see Mindhunter on Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of talks about it, and a lot of those guys seem like their mother fucked them up.
Yeah.
It was never like I mean, like their father had like a little bit to do with it, but honestly, it seemed like their mother almost had like one, mental illness, and then two that like brought it onto them.
Yeah. Well, that is like kind of the stereotype,
Yeah.
but for good reason. And I think Jeffrey Dahmer, at least from the documentary, he had kind of a normal upbringing. I mean, his parents fought, they got divorced. Like, it was a broken home. It wasn't like a safe place for him, but he always had like this fascination for dead animals and carcasses and stuff. And that's why I think he resorted to cannibalism after all. I think it was just a curiosity thing, I think. But yeah, so I don't know if that makes a difference. Maybe there's stuff behind the scenes that we don't know yet, or maybe he doesn't even know.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that interesting.
Well, did he have like a public like schooling? Like did he interact with, I didn't watch anything about him, so I don't know much about him. Did he have like a life outside of his home?
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely alienated at school, kind of like the weirdo.
I was thinking maybe that has to do with like why he would kind of focus on like weirder things, because he doesn't have as much time with like a social life.
Right. I mean that, and again, the documentary showed from a young age that he was like fascinated in dead animals and just gore, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of consumed his social life, from what I know. I mean, the documentary showed him getting bullied a lot. It was almost like he had some form of autism where he didn't really like know how to interact with other people. But I'm not sure how a person stoops that low to the point where they just kind of objectify people to these things that they can get a thrill out of.
I don't think it's something that we could ever just understand.
Definitely not. And it's case by case. Like, not every serial killer thinks the same. But there has to be some kind of pattern or a series of events that trigger that in a person. And again, I don't think even if like one of us were to experience that kind of upbringing, I don't think, well, I guess I can't say for sure, but I don't think I would resort to like serial killing.
No, definitely not.
I don't think I could do it. There's a level of empathy that I think you're born with, or at least you can be accustomed to in your childhood. I guess that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
There was one story of him where he, I think he got invited to the mall. But anyways, he ended up showing up, and there was like a group of kids there, and they liked him from when he acted like autistic in school one day.
Right.
He
Yeah.
got like a rise out of people, and he's like, oh shit, okay, they like when I do this.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me, when he went to the mall, the same people were there, and like he did it, and they were laughing, but he kept doing it and doing it and doing it to like different people until like people started to leave, and it was literally just him there for hours doing the same thing over and over. It's almost like that showed like him like slowly like going more and more insane, but it was like a normal person wouldn't do that. Like, I don't know if he was looking for validation, but like I don't know what that is to drive somebody to do that for hours after people leave and everything. Like, it's not funny anymore. Like, why?
I mean,
why was that a thing?
that sounds like some kind of, like he's on the spectrum of some sort. I don't know if he was.
From what I know, I don't
But
think so.
that also sounds like he's just desperately trying to fit in and be normal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he wanted to be a serial killer, but maybe certain circumstances. And I'm not like, he's definitely a terrible person. Like, he should go to hell for his crimes, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where, like, the human condition, it can lead you down so many different paths. Human experience.
We've talked about like kind of, I think this was like one of the first podcasts we talked about like, are people born the way they are, or like no matter what surroundings they grew up with, are they still going to turn out like a certain way?
Right. Yeah, it's definitely stemming from that.
And like, yeah, like we talk about us, like if we were born in those conditions, same ones as he was, would we be the same?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't think we'd be the same people. We'd definitely be different, but
Well, for sure, but like,
I don't think we would be the same as him.
right?
And that's purely just a gut feeling.
Is that genetics, or is it just like, Is it kind of like a coin toss whenever someone's born, like as to how they are?
Yeah.
I think it's like a mixture. It has to be. But like the same person. So like Jeffrey Dahmer could have had like a brother that would act nothing like him, you know? Same like genes pretty much, but like I assume different genetic mutations or something. But along with that, they have like the same experience mostly, like through childhood and stuff they would have.
Right.
Now I don't believe he has any siblings, so this is just like making something up, but I don't think he would have also, like, what are the chances that that person would have also been a serial killer? Like, probably not, you know? So maybe Jeffrey Dahmer wouldn't have been if he had a sibling. I don't know, but
I think he did have a sister. I might be wrong. But again, that's also different experiences. And I think his mother,
did.
when
Yeah,
she
he
when
did have
she
a sister.
left his dad, she took her.
took his sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was probably more taken care of for, because I think her mother or his mother was kind of afraid of him, or just kind of was also kind of just didn't understand him.
Yeah.
He was kind of weird.
Well, when your like 4-year-old son is interested in playing with roadkill,
Right.
you're like, what the fuck is going on? It's like an immediate red flag. So instead of like getting help, she
What
just
do
kind of left.
Put yourself in that situation. If your son came up to you and was like, yeah, I was playing with the dead mouse in the backyard, and I was like looking at his organs and stuff. Like, how would you go about, like, okay, I need to take him off this path?
Well, his dad encouraged it.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, his dad was excited to. I did read about this. His dad was excited to show, like, because he showed interest in what his
Yeah.
dad did, which was like, how do I dispose of these parts, right, through like chemicals and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, but I mean, in this, like, in your own case, though.
Right. I would find that concerning. I would probably probe why he's interested in it,
Mhm.
and I don't do my best to my ability to like kind of analyze what's going through his head. I don't know how old do you think that would be? Like young?
I'd say
8.
sub 10, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, probably just do that. Kind of just make like, trying to figure out what's his fascination about it, and then
Yeah, I
if
think knowing the
if it
why, for
persists, if I don't like his answers, I'll probably send him to therapy. But definitely not ignore it, like I feel like most serial killers' parents do,
Yeah.
or take it out on him.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could teach like a valuable lesson as well about life and death in that situation. But
Yeah.
I don't think, I think the old age of sort of like the religion is sort of dying off, where you like impose your own views on your child. So
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of people are asking like their child, well, like here's what, like maybe like here's what I believe in, and here's like different things that other people believe in. Like, what do you think?
Right. I think that's the way to go.
I think so too.
I would say so, because that like allows like that child to now. At the same time, though, that's like, now this is completely different, but like the whole like transgender argument with like kids, like the 4-year-old that wants to dress like a girl even though he's a boy, and stuff like that. Like kids don't always know what's best, so like the same argument could be going like the other way. So like, what do you think?
I think
with that
kids
argument, if you know what I mean?
have their like natural inclinations, because if you give like a 4-year-old boy, like, here's a dress, here's a football, I feel like the boy is gonna levitate towards the football no matter what.
No
I don't
matter
know.
what.
No, I don't know, because I had
mean,
I don't think
sisters and
so.
I liked to play like with dolls when I was like a kid. Like they like
you're
dressed
right.
me up and shit, and like
Yeah,
I didn't
played
care. I
house.
was a
Yeah.
kid. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that'll definitely happen, and then there'll be some dads that'll be like, "This is for girls only,
Right.
and you should be playing with the football." And
I
they
think
don't
that could be
understand like
harmful.
why is this for girls?
Do you think that treatment?
I don't think there's a line between girls and boys' toys.
Because growing up, I
Same.
did the same thing. Like, when I played with my sister and stuff, and played like house and like Littlest Pet Shop or whatever.
Yeah.
And I did shit like that, and my parents never told me, "Hey, don't do that. That's not what boys are supposed to do."
Yeah.
Do you think maybe having someone giving them that advice would change how they are? Like, maybe they would lean towards it because they're being told not to?
Yes, I believe.
Maybe in some circumstances.
I think some people might falsely like identify as like a different sexuality if that happens, to be honest. Like, I believe that, like, could happen.
I don't think it's false in any case.
No. I'm saying, like, if you're told, like, hey, you can't do that, you're a boy, you have to play with boys' toys, then, like, that kid grows up like, oh, fuck, like, can't, like, play with anything girl, so, like, he suppresses that side of him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, definitely.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, trans people are always kind of fearful to come out, or anybody that's not straight is,
imagine, yeah.
fearful of coming out of the closet, but especially trans people. That's a big thing. There's still such a stigma around it, especially if they have, like, a conservative upbringing. But yeah, I don't like the gendered toy thing. I mean, I don't have strong opinions on it, but it's just kind of weird that we put these genders on toys, and like if a boy wants to play with dolls, like, he doesn't understand the societal norms we've already put in place.
Do you think usually, like, well, I would say majority of the time it's men who care about it, like boys play with boys' toys. Do you think that's, like, internalized homophobia, honestly?
To some degree, they just don't want their sons to be girly. They want the stereotypical strong man for a son,
Yeah.
It probably has to do a lot with homophobia, because I'm sure a lot of conservative fathers of earlier generations, that's, like, their biggest fear, is having a gay son.
You know that something that they do is they take people's tattoos from their skin and they kind of, like, preserve them. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah, my tattoo artist has a jar sitting right next to his.
Is it actually?
Yeah, I think it's
Wow.
pig skin, if I had to guess.
Oh, maybe it might be, like, his first tattoo or something.
There's a few of them. There's, like, they're just stuffed in a jar. It's kind of fucking gross,
It's
but
got to be pig. It
preserved
cannot
there.
be legal to own human skin.
I don't know. It's not. I used to work with human skin and do testing on human
Well,
skin.
that's so much different.
You actually get it from, like, fat people. They cut it off, like when they do, like, lipo and shit. They take the skin and then send it to, like, research labs and
You mean
shit.
the fat or the skin?
Both.
Are we talking
They
about the
slice
same
it.
thing?
I feel like we're drifting a little bit. But that's
Drifting a little bit.
But I mean, like,
human skin tattoos.
Is what I said, because I don't actually know the specifics, is do they take your skin after you're dead and then they kind of, like, preserve it, or is that, like?
Oh no, this is for, like, liposuction.
Okay, yeah, but do you know what I'm talking about though?
I
I
don't.
don't know. Do they take famous people's tattoos? Is that what
Yeah.
you're saying?
What do you like? Whose tattoos are they taking?
That
I don't
sounds
know,
super disrespectful.
It does.
Maybe people who, like, ask for it. No, I assume it's like a
Consensual.
who gives a fuck, like, what they think. But I mean,
I would never have the thought, be like, I
you know
want
what?
you to
Scratch
peel my
this whole
skin
conversation.
off.
This is just
No, it
this
sounds
is, like,
fucked up. If
derailed.
anything.
No,
Yeah.
but it's a thing though. Like, I've seen it. I think it is, like, famous people that probably, like, ask for it. Like, yeah, preserve my tattoos or some shit.
I would imagine they'd ask because I feel like that's disrespect. Well, not just disrespectful, but I feel like it's disrespectful of, like, a corpse. Like, you can't do that
Yeah,
legally.
yeah. But
Why the
I've
fuck
never
would-
seen that.
Yeah, I've never seen
think
it
it's
either,
weird
and
as
it sounds
fuck,
fucked
yeah.
up. Who the fuck? Why would I want
does
to
that
go?
work?
Like,
Kinda
even if you
reminds
go to a
me-
museum, why the fuck would I want to see that?
It reminds me of, like, preserving, like, an animal skin or something, or, like, even people get taxidermied pets, and I think that's fucking weird.
That is real strange.
That's
yeah.
super fucking weird. Like, say your dog dies and you get her taxidermied.
Yeah.
I think it'd be more weird if you died and, like, your parents got you
Okay,
taxidermied.
stop talking about the fucking tattoos thing.
Definitely.
Well, then they'd
No,
be
that
able to
wasn't
preserve your
tattoos.
tattoos.
No, yeah, he was talking about
Right.
if you were
Oh,
stuffed.
dude, if you got
Imagine-
a human taxidermy,
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
fuck, dude, that's
Yeah.
weird.
That is super
like
weird.
a super. It's like a wax museum.
That's
but it's an
definitely a
actual
thing, though.
person.
I
Like
bet
that.
it is like a mom mourning her, like, son,
Yeah.
and then just, like,
Oh,
taxidermies
that's a
his ass.
fucked story. Yeah.
I bet it's happened.
If
Look it
not,
up.
bro. If
Look it
not,
up.
Yeah.
I bet it's happened. I really don't want to look
Well,
this
there's
up, but I'll
definitely
look up
there's
got
got
to
to be serial killers that kill their victims, and then taxidermy. Yeah, for sure.
I just looked
Oh,
up
has to be.
taxidermy
like a fucking
human.
taxidermy, like, serial killer who, like,
Has to be.
dude, that's fucking nuts.
There has to
if
be.
not, we're making that a story or some shit.
If I feel like it might be a thing as well.
Can you taxidermy people? As far as I know, it is illegal to taxidermy or mount a human being in the U.S.
Well, yeah, no
shit.
shit.
Yeah,
But a forgotten chapter in natural history is the taxidermy of man. So for a long time, there was, like, only, like, one case in the 19th century of human taxidermy. However, like, a recent discovery suggests that there was more. So it's happened.
Well, I mean, the process of taxidermy involves. I mean, it's not like
I feel like the only
it's
thing.
doable. It's just like morally.
Well, yeah, yeah.
I'm glad
So,
we
of course
weren't
it's not
the only ones to
I
think
think
about this.
like after you die, the undertaker will prepare your body for the funeral.
The Undertaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do. Yeah, I guess that would be like a form of taxidermy, isn't it?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I think it was a smelling salt. I think I got.
Oh, yeah. Get those out.
Yeah, we want to try those now.
Yeah, let's try some fucking smelling salts.
Okay, I hear.
You do it
have
first.
Here now, Atomic Red Line Rhino smelling salts.
Take a huge whiff.
Fuck
Show us
that,
how it's
dude.
done.
I think John should go first.
All right. Yeah.
He's never done
Yeah,
them.
John goes first.
What do I do? Don't purposely fuck me over or some shit.
No, I'm gonna tell you what to do.
Don't take a huge whiff.
You're gonna take the lid off and just kind of slowly get
Waft
closer
into
to
your
it.
nose.
Yeah, don't be like inhaling. Just kind of be normally like how you would smell something. Okay?
Okay.
Like a.
Is it more of like?
But don't get it too close.
So like, will I feel it whenever I?
Yeah.
You'll smell it a little bit and be like, "Oh, that's not too bad," and then you'll get a little closer, and then
You'll be like, oh.
it'll get you.
Is it gonna
Wait,
give
wait,
me a
wait.
jerk reaction? Because I don't want.
Maybe.
I don't want to bump anything.
Maybe.
Oh, I can. Oh,
Really, you can smell
dude,
it.
I just cracked it a little bit. That's fucking
I
strong.
don't want to get a whiff by accident.
Dude.
Yeah.
It smells like ammonia, just straight ammonia.
It is.
Yeah, it's what
Is
it
it-
is.
it is what it
That's
is?
what smells
Yeah.
like.
Fuck, dude. Maybe I
Well,
might,
don't take
like,
it.
Yeah, just
it's closed.
Oh.
Yeah.
do it real quick.
Do what? I don't.
You take
That
the.
wasn't it.
Yeah, unscrew it and then. Oh.
Get it closer to your face.
That's not that bad.
Fuck. Yeah, I felt it, bro. Whew. Yeah, that's pretty much what I imagine. It feels like, you know what it feels like is whenever you get water in your nose, like in a chlorinated pool. It's like that burning sensation.
Yeah. But like times 10.
Yeah.
I'm more used to it, I think.
Yeah, I don't need to do it.
The smell, I definitely recognize the smell just because from work.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Smell,
Yeah, I forgot
smelled
about
ammonia.
that. Yeah, but it's like, I don't know if it's pure or something.
That's
Yeah,
pure.
they're saying
That's definitely
pure
like pure
form.
The
crystallized
stuff at
ammonia.
work isn't 100% ammonia.
Definitely not. Well, you can't
Holy
clean
fuck,
with
dude.
that shit.
How do you feel?
It doesn't wake me up or anything. It just fucking.
Yeah, it just kind of slaps you in the face. and-
I don't think. Maybe if I was like tired, that would be like cool. But like I don't know. I don't feel any different. I just feel like,
Right.
ow.
Yeah.
It's kind of uncomfortable, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't fully understand the effects or maybe the purpose.
I don't know. I would have been like, oh shit. Then we would have continued the pod.
anyways, to answer your question, Caleb, yeah.
No, I don't. I don't know what the full effects are. I know it wakes up like unconscious people.
You guys hear that ringing?
No,
No.
you've said this before. Maybe it's your
It's the
tinnitus.
smelling salts.
Probably.
Ears are still ringing from them.
I actually thought I had tinnitus for the longest time, but then I discovered that it was my alarm clock.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious.
What?
For the longest time as a kid, I thought I had tinnitus. because
My alarm clock was going off in the morning.
No, not going off. But like, so
like it's just constantly making a.
I have this alarm clock. It's like it's an older one. It may be like early 2000s, but it has like a radio on it. And it's weird because I discovered like a few years ago that if you hold up even when the radio is completely off, like it's turned off completely. I don't have it's an alarm sound that plays whenever my actual alarm goes off. It's not the radio, but the radio is always playing no matter what. It's just very, very quiet. And I thought I was going fucking like crazy. I thought I had some weird ear thing going on because it's like right next to my face. on my
Right.
bed.
Yeah, you lay down to go to sleep and you start hearing voices.
Yeah, and it's like like just like the slightest like just differences in voices and like you know how wherever someone's like you hear the S sound and I'm like, what the fuck am I hearing? I was like,
For how long?
are my parents listening to TV right now? I'm like, it's fucking 3 a.m. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why do I hear that? Since I had it, I thought that
I mean, like months or
years.
Holy fuck.
Years I was sitting there with this besides my head, and I just dude, I thought it was voices. I thought I was hearing voices. I thought that's what tinnitus was. I was like, oh, tinnitus is whenever you just specifically in my left ear.
When I go to bed at night, next to my alarm clock.
So you're laying there hearing voices with your fingers tucked in, like going crazy, bro.
Yeah, dude. I was just sitting there like, what am I hearing right now?
It's the monsters.
Completely enveloped in a blanket. Yeah, no, it was. Then I put my head against the alarm clock one time, and I was just like, wait a minute. And then I turned the alarm on, or I turned the radio on. I was like, that's the same shit that's playing. So it wasn't just like FM either. It was, or whichever one the music is. It wasn't just like a talk show. It was also like music was playing too.
Right.
So like I was like, I swear, wait, hold it. That sounds like Cake by the Ocean or some shit, wherever the fuck it was.
Right.
Then I turned the radio on. I was like, oh my god, this entire fucking time. I still have that same alarm clock. I should have got rid of it, but
Yeah.
something bothering you?
Dude. Yeah. I saw a conspiracy theory the other day that the mcrib is actually human meat.
What?
It was pretty convincing.
Okay. Is there like details to the conspiracy, or is it just?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Oh.
I just haven't looked it up.
Oh, okay, cool.
I haven't looked into it enough.
Wait, how is it
We should talk
convincing
about
then?
it.
What?
How is it convincing then?
The one video I saw
Okay.
talked about the reason why they're discontinuing the mcrib and why it was human meat.
Okay, what's the reason?
I don't remember.
Don't remember. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why they discontinue it in general, because I don't even know when it's available. Like I feel like it's like,
available right now.
Really?
Apparently the last and final time.
Well, if it's human meat, then let's go get it.
Yeah, I don't know. People said, I believe the reason for it is, and this was part of the actual theory, I do know why, is because, you know, like, kind of like how the government, and other like different like social media and shit like that tries to slowly like incorporate things into your daily life so that like when it finally comes out that it's true, you're not as shocked by it. That's like what they're doing with the mcrib.
Well, I feel like it's
They're making
not shocking because no one actually believes that.
Yet. So I think like the conspiracy theory like coming out like, oh, this is human meat is based on the fact that like if we slowly desensitize to these types of things, then we'll eventually just accept it.
Oh, so when it actually comes out that it's human meat, everyone will be like, yeah, expected
And
that.
that will be okay with eating human meat in
I
the
don't
future
think so.
because of the lack of
I
the
disagree.
lack of meat in the world. So we'll start eating humans. Because one human can feed like 70 people or something like that.
What?
Yeah, it's a
Like
lot of
for
people.
a meal?
I think.
Well, a whole human,
A whole human.
whole, like we're talking like the
The
average.
meat.
Brains.
Yeah, I would imagine the average.
Yeah.
I don't
like
know.
all the parts.
I don't know.
Huh.
I believe, yeah, all the parts.
Interesting.
Is that
But
like
yeah, I think it's-
prepared too?
What?
Like cooked,
raw.
like a cooked human? Like,
I imagine.
Oh, yeah, you gotta.
Yeah, I would imagine you have to cook it.
is there like, for like a survivalist's viewpoint, is there like a way that you cook? Not a survivalist, I guess, but like someone who is surviving. Is there a way that you cook human,
Yeah.
like the right way?
Yeah, I would imagine. Imagine like you chop
Why
it at
would
the
be any
knee.
different?
Yeah, you chop it at the knee, and then you have like a good rotisserie gun
Damn.
for the
You think
the
the leg
lower
would be the best?
lower part. Yeah, it'd be the easiest
If
to
you
cook.
had to
The
eat a
calf muscle?
single human,
I would eat the
body part.
thigh.
The thigh.
the thigh, the full thigh,
Yeah,
True.
medius,
because you'd be able to rotate it pretty well. It'd be
Right.
pretty even
even
cooked.
cooked. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut
Get a
all
little,
that.
get a
'cause
little,
that's weird
get a
as
little
fuck.
meat thermometer too.
Would it be a cool
Yeah.
segment if we all got McRibs and then did a review under the impression that it's actually human meat? Like, this is our first time being cannibals?
Do you think?
I would do it.
Do they think it's like an actual human rib, or do they think it's just human meat in general?
I think it's just human meat in general combined, just in like a mush, just kind of like a chicken nugget. How it's just ground.
Where do you think
What?
they get
Complete
the
chicken.
people,
I don't fucking know. I bet it's like
dead people?
maybe
McDonald's employees.
it's
Like,
fucking
but how, that
could be like
what's,
human trafficking, and they just fucking take the people.
That
kill
sounds
them,
like such
mash them up.
That sounds like
make them into a McRib.
way too much trouble.
That's
than
what
it
I
would be
thought
worth.
too. But like, if you're slowly trying to like convince people that cannibalism is
To
okay,
what
that would be like
end?
a
Why?
first. That would be like a good start.
Why? Why are they trying to do that?
Human depopulation, probably.
But we're underpopulated.
That's what like the elitists say.
We're
Yeah, we're
underpopulated?
underpopulated.
That's what they say.
That is
Yeah.
what they say. And I don't know how that's possible because
And we have
you would think we're overpopulated.
Yeah, that's what I would
exponentially
think,
higher
too.
numbers than we ever had in any
Yeah,
population.
and people are still saying we're underpopulated, but I don't know why they're
don't know
saying
either.
that.
Do you think
They
there's any
never have a good argument.
Do you think there's any secret genocides going on right now
Yes.
that we don't know about?
100%.
Of like races.
Yeah. Or maybe not even genocides, but just like killing people in general, just like
mass murders.
concentration camps that we don't know about
Probably.
In the U.S. or like in the world?
in the world.
I would imagine in the world, probably not in the U.S.
Dude, I have no idea.
I would think so.
I don't know how that could be. That could go under the radar, really.
Well, I need to know what you determine as like mass genocide. Like how many people are we
Like
talking?
they're
Like
rounding
thousands?
up
Are we talking
like an ethnicity?
Millions? No, but
Millions,
like
no, no, no.
thousands.
Even so, did this is probably a stupid question, but did people know about the concentration camps in World War II?
People didn't believe it.
They didn't believe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's speculation, but I mean, like, so just the fact that they didn't believe it means that they heard about it, so they knew about it then.
I believe they knew about it and just didn't believe it was actually true, because they're like, oh, there's no way. There's millions of fucking Jews.
I think
We would know about something that was like millions of people.
I think it's possible that like Native Americans, like clans like that, where they're on land that a billionaire wants, and they're in the way because it's sacred land, but they're like, I want to buy this land for my own gain, and I'll just quietly dispose of this whole clan.
That's some like Civil War shit, though. You think that's still going on?
I think it's definitely possible.
Possible, but I mean, is there any? I mean, there's definitely like Native American reservations, but are there any like big Native American reservations today?
Nothing huge, but I believe that'd
Nothing
probably
huge,
be.
but there's definitely like tribes.
That'd be the easiest to
Yeah.
take out though, because it's not government regulated, so nobody even knows how many people
Yeah.
are back there.
Yeah, and you like here in like film and television that say a billionaire, they find like a whole tribe in a mass grave or something, and it's like, a billionaire was behind it because they wanted the land for their own profit.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's possible.
I feel like
If it's done right, we would never know.
we don't even like. We're at a point in human history where there is no more land to like acquire. Like everything that needs to be conquered is already has. It already is. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's true because currently, I believe it's China is buying up parts of. Is it? It's like Alaska or the Arctic or something that isn't owned by anybody, because like melting ice caps are producing. Well, not producing. The land's already there, but since the ice is melting, I believe it's China is taking over some of the land there and putting in like certain things for oil. And they're making all like these destroyer ships for like ice to make like way,
Icebreakers.
to make way. So instead of like 50 days for oil to ship from like Russia to China or some shit, it takes 13. But they're like way ahead of us in like oil. But so since like this ice is melting, there's more land being generated.
Yeah, there's also, like you said, most of the land is conquered. I think Antarctica's, there's got to be a majority of it that's unexplored.
I
It's
guarantee you, there's places in our
Antarctica. You got it, buddy.
spit it out.
Hey, guys, spit it out, man.
Just call it the double A.
Antarctica. I believe there's places in
You believe there's places there that
I believe there's places there that are like secret military, but kind of like Area 51. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I bet you there's some like secret places.
like Star Wars.
Excuse me?
In like the
but
Arctic
not
when they're
in
like
space.
in the, no. In like they have like that Arctic planet and it's like that secret fucking base and shit in the Arctic. No,
I
Yeah,
feel like
just
they
like
could
that-
hide
just
it
like
in a
that.
more
I
convenient
think
place,
you're talking
though.
about Hoth.
is
The
it?
one where the Tauntauns are in the first ones. I don't fucking know.
Or are you just making
Like
that up?
the snow planet where like Tauntauns are. You remember like the things that they ride and they cut open.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's that planet. I think that's just a whole ass planet though.
Yeah,
That's different, man. But anyways,
yeah, but it's like the same idea.
actually, I think Despicable Me or like the Minions movie or some shit like hints at there being like a secret military base in Antarctica.
There's definitely a secret military base.
Why though? I feel like there's way
Why
more
is it?
convenient places to hide it.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's like it's probably like an intelligence bureau, if anything, not like a why? Because why would you put something that far away from like a military equipment or something? Why would you have that so far away from everything?
Why would you have anything that far away? Why?
Secret, you know? Actually, I
Because
think,
nobody's going to go there.
Just make it underground.
I think Godzilla is actually something that uses Antarctica for a lot for stuff like that because like people don't want to hear about the big monsters, and
Okay,
obviously
but that's a movie, bro.
Well, if they've nuked the entire USA, then they still have there. Like,
Yeah.
nobody's going to nuke that place. Why would you?
I guess.
They don't know if anything's there.
do you think that there are secrets beyond like what we even like something that we would see in a movie? Like, do you think that they exist in parts of the world?
Like government secrecy?
Right.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Why wouldn't Antarctica be a place for that?
I don't know. What I mean, my only reason is that there's got to be more convenient places to put it. There has to be.
For sure.
Just put it underground.
But what if the ground just becomes a giant crater? You can't get above ground now.
What if Antarctica melts?
I'm sure they have like a way around that. I'm sure there's like things in place for when it does melt to a certain degree.
They probably just have a lot of like ACs.
They have a
portable
lot of
ACs.
just buoys. It's like we're gonna make this thing float.
Or they're just creating the weather over there.
That's
Okay,
where the
all
weather is
right,
made.
All right. No.
When I was a kid, I used to think that that smokestacks were what were creating clouds. Like clouds.
I
Came
think
from
we all thought that
smokestacks.
at one point.
Yeah. I was like, "There's the cloud factory over there."
Right, right. That is a cool thought to have as a kid.
It
Do
is
you
cool,
think
yeah.
the government to some degree creates weather?
No.
No.
I bet they do.
Why?
Why?
What's their purpose?
To manipulate certain things.
Like what?
I don't know.
Like it rains on your wedding day and you're like, fucking, they wanted this.
Government.
I don't know.
Now I can't get my
bet-
free ring.
That's true. I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Do you ever hear of the underground layer type thing underneath the White House?
Hollow Earth. Oh, never mind.
No,
No,
it's
what?
not a
what are you
layer. I
talking
guess
about?
it's like in the case of emergency, the
secret
U-
tunnels.
well, the
Fuck,
U.S.
like a-
president
like a
goes like
shelter.
50 floors in the ground.
Oh, I'm sure that's real. That has to be. Like the
believe it.
safe room.
I think so. Do you think it's 50 floors underground?
I don't know.
I think it's like 50. Maybe it's only like
It's-
13.
And that's all
That's a fuck
a
ton
guessing
of,
game. I don't know.
That's a lot.
Could be 10. Could be 50. Yeah.
Could be anything.
Imagine like the UPMC building in Pittsburgh underground.
Could be
that
a
far.
mile underground. We would never know.
I
Like
think there's like
how
a
would-
distance, a final distance you can
Would you
go.
have to have like some sort of like safety equipment to go that far underground?
Like a
Some
mile?
sort of like a mile. Is that how tall a building is? Like
A
like
mile?
the UPMC
No.
building.
No.
Not even fucking close.
No, it's not close to a mile. It's
The tallest
50
building in the world is not even a mile.
Yeah.
Not even close.
No. Say it's 50 stories. A story is like, is it 12? No, it's 15 feet a story because you have space in between. I think it's 15
What's
feet.
the Burj Khalifa? How tall is that?
Is that in Dubai?
Yeah, that's the current tallest
That's
one.
at least
I
3
believe.
buses.
Probably.
I'm
yeah.
saying like
More than that.
I'm saying like the UPMC building, like just in general, like that height. Like, is there any like because obviously the elevation's gonna fuck you up in some way. Like maybe is it just like an ear popping thing? Probably.
It is the Burj Khalifa, 2,717 feet.
Oh, that's almost half a mile.
That's about 4
But,
buses. Yeah.
That is half a mile.
But still, yeah, that's not. A mile would be insane.
No, you know what? No, there isn't because I've been in caves underground, about a half mile underground.
Right.
So no, I don't think there's nothing. But that's natural air coming down. So I don't know if it's pressurized underground.
The feeling of being in a cave is like second to none. I think it's so cool to be in a cave. Like just the natural quiet is so cool, and like everything. Like it's kind of surreal. If you ever been like on a cave tour and they just turn off the lights on the boat or whatever, and it's just like the quiet is like
Oh, like a water cave, you mean?
oh the one that I'm thinking of specifically. Yeah, it was like a
Oh,
little,
okay.
like a little boat.
I was thinking
like,
you were
going
talking
through-
about like caverns.
Yeah, that is
That's
what
what I
I'm
was
talking
talking about.
Oh,
There's a place.
Laurel Caverns.
relatively near it. Yeah,
That's the
called
one I
Laurel
went
Cavern.
to recently,
Yeah, there's
but-
a boat tour through it.
Yeah,
what?
there is a boat tour.
Oh, I didn't take the boat tour. I was walking through the whole thing. Never saw
I
any
walked
kind
through
of
the whole
On the
thing,
water,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm Jesus.
What are you guys fucking really inefficient? Jesus, just like
No, I
walk.
Yeah, you can walk through it.
No, yeah,
Yeah, but I never saw
Yeah,
any
but there's-
kind of body of water running through it.
There is apparently.
probably,
I didn't
probably
either.
a different.
Different
there-
part.
it's a
to
pretty big,
Yeah.
pretty big cave system.
It's
so,
crazy. That Can you imagine being like the first people to discover that?
Yeah, You
But
probably
They tell you a
also
story about
it'd
the
be
first guy in there.
pitch black.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's right, yeah.
you would walk in, wouldn't be able to see anything.
Well, that's why you have fire. They had fire.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, cavemen walking in there be like, ooga booga.
But yeah, they have like a
And then-
torch and they're like looking at all this crazy
dude,
shit around
they,
you.
That's why people believed in like gods and stuff, because they would see these statues and they make up stories about these, not statues, like natural carved like
Yeah,
like
stalagmites.
yeah, right,
Yeah.
stalagmites, stalactites, whatever, and they would look at them and they'd be like, that is God, that is the God, and that is
Makes
the
sense.
goddess.
Yeah.
Well, think about like religion to an extent. Do you think like all these religions all over the world, do you think they're just different accounts of like maybe like the same God? It's just different accounts.
Yes,
That's totally what I think is extremely plausible.
that's what a lot of people speculate, is that like, especially with mythologies and stuff, like even comparing like Roman to Greek mythology, there's literally counterparts like Mars is the god of war, Ares is also the god of war. They're the same person, they're just different name. Like, but they have relatively the same stories.
Yeah, that's why like I assume like there was like a god on Earth or something, or that created Earth, but just different accounts all over the world. So that's why they have different names in different stories altogether.
I think that's like a new age way of thinking, is that like a lot of Christians nowadays believe that their god is the same god as Odin or Zeus or
Everyone else just got it wrong. It's this guy.
The one true God.
Yeah,
No,
the one
I'm
in the
not.
Bible.
I'm not talking about like, okay, this is the right God. I'm saying
Right.
that it's all the same. Like
Yeah.
monotheism is how it actually is how they.
Yeah, I mean, if there is a higher power that is omnipotent and created everything that we know, our brains would not be able to even
That's what the
begin to
Bible says
process
as
what
well.
it is.
But I don't think
I don't even think it could be put into words. Like,
I don't think polytheism could be a thing. I don't think multiple gods
Yeah.
could coexist. I think the ultimate power.
I don't think
Couldn't be
I think
shared.
that's beyond our understanding as well.
I think it would go down
I
like a
agree.
chain, and polytheistic beliefs don't really stem from like thinking that everyone is equally all powerful. Like there is like a chain. Like Zeus isn't like the father of everything. He's not what Christians believe to be God. Zeus is still like, he has his limitations. Zeus wasn't even the first thing to exist in Greek mythology. Like there were primordial gods before that.
I just don't think you could be considered a god if you weren't all powerful. Like you could have power over like this one
well,
thing.
that's
but
just
how could
your personal definition of a god.
Well, no, I mean
Like,
I think it's an opinion.
maybe gods probably don't even consider themselves
I
gods.
think they
if they're
considered
gods.
I think they considered gods immortals. Like immortals were gods,
Okay.
and that's what.
So maybe I'm thinking of a different
They have
definition.
power beyond man.
That's what the pantheon was just immortals.
Right.
And I mean, I guess they had like some control over the universe too, in a way, because they were
Yeah.
gods of
I
something.
mean, well, let's say there's Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. And Poseidon created all the seas. Zeus created the skies. Hades created the underworld. Would you consider them gods, or would you just consider them
they
creators?
didn't create those.
Well,
things.
let's just say that that's
Okay.
how it is.
Okay.
I know. They ruled them, but
Actually.
they were assigned. But would you consider them gods, or would you just consider, like, let's say that those type of beings are the creators of our universe? They all made different sections.
Perfect example. Jesus Christ is considered God, but he's not the creator. Jesus Christ himself didn't create the universe. It was God, right? But you still consider Jesus Christ God. I think it's the same thing.
But they're considered one being.
Right. Yeah.
Like the
I mean,
three
that's
heads.
the monotheism,
But
yeah.
yeah, but yeah, I mean they all did different things. I mean if it's considered one god but it's three different entities. Like you said though, I don't think that we could possibly interpret
Yeah, I mean, we
what's going
know
on.
nothing.
That's
I don't
why-
think anything that is written down, like no scripture, no firsthand accounts, none of that is fact. Like, and we can't take that into account on how we think gods exist or coexist or anything.
it could be
We don't know
like
squat. Dude.
well, I mean I guess it would be firsthand accounts, right?
Would be what, the
So-
most reliable source?
Well, the most reliable source we have, I guess.
I don't think
that,
so.
Well, what would be the most reliable source?
I don't think there is one. Unless there was
Well,
a
there has to
god
be a
in
most
front of
reliable
us.
source.
If he walked down and was like, I'm God. check this shit out.
Sure, but just based off of what could
we
be the
have?
most reliable source, that would be the most reliable source.
Absolutely.
I think it'd be the second most reliable source because I think the
What?
first. No, I
Okay,
yeah.
what's the most?
Firsthand experience.
That is a firsthand experience.
Well, that's a written account of a firsthand experience, so it's our second.
No, I mean if we're sitting here,
Yeah.
and God just appeared on that couch and was like,
No, yeah.
guys, I
we're
am
on the.
real.
Yeah, I think we're on the same.
yeah, but if one guy came to everyone, it was like, I saw God, that's not reliable.
Right, that's a secondhand account. That's what I'm saying. That's the
Okay, so you're thinking firsthand, so it's the same thing.
yeah. I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Here.
Do you think Christianity would be as big as it was if there weren't stories of Jesus Christ? If it was just stories that you heard of, like Old Testament, like God appearing through like a burning bush or something, do you think people would still have the same, like, do you think it would have as much popularity?
I think it evolved because it was so fucking hard to understand.
What do you mean?
Like, first of all, it was written in Latin, so there's no perfect translation.
Right.
But I think the Old Testament's extremely hard to understand.
The Old Testament is like very similar to old mythologies. That's why I think.
No, I just think like reading it, like read like one passage versus like a New Testament. I think it's dumbed down.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So is mythology. Mythology, like especially like Norse mythology. The only written record of Norse mythology are two books, Prose Edda and I can't remember the other name, but that's all it is, and it's very like simplified. But people have word of mouth, and that's how stories spread, and they become more of what they are, and that's how the Bible was written. Probably, I assume, was stories spreading from other people, and then
Through prophets.
Because there's different people's. There's like the King James version. There's stuff like that.
There's probably hundreds of versions.
Right.
Yeah, there's a ton.
And like, do you think that religion, like Christianity, would be where it is if there weren't stories of that firsthand experience of meeting Jesus Christ? Because I feel like that's what separates.
It's a large part.
That's what separates Christianity from a lot of religions, is that people met Jesus Christ, not just like, well, old religions like with pantheons and stuff believe that God's walked among men, but there's no stories of like actual people, historical figures or anything. It's all just the gods and stuff. But that's what separates Christianity from all those religions is that
people experienced it.
Right.
Well, there's also theories that, and I think there's hints of it in the Bible, but there's theories that most of these encounters were from shroom trips.
I believe it in the Old Testament. If they're not true, then yeah, what else?
Yeah, and there's plenty of like logical explanations that we'll never know if they're true. Like Jesus was actually just a con man, and he just kind of like for like producing, what was it, bread? He would just like countless loaves of bread. He would just pull them out of his shirt. Like there's people that try and debunk that, where like people are just like handing it behind them, and people are stupid back then. They don't know what's going on. They'll believe anything.
In that case, though, I feel like that's a little like exaggerated, because that's like what he fed. How many people? Like 1,000 or some shit.
Yeah, something ridiculous.
Like he's not like a fucking magician. Like,
Yeah.
oh, another one.
Yeah, but that could also be conjured, where it's like, I don't think it would be that hard for a group of people to sit down and say, hey, you pretend that you met Jesus and then he did this crazy thing, and then like you write it down, and then we'll put it in the Bible, and then I feel like most religions, if not all of them, were created to control the masses, and that's for disregarding if there is a God or anything.
Right.
But I'm saying strictly religion was created on those terms.
You think it's fear mongering?
To a degree,
In some
yeah.
cases, yeah. There's like historical leaders that use religion to like increase their gain and stuff. I'm not gonna like get into specifics or anything, but yeah.
Well, I would say the
definitely.
Catholic fucking Church.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That's just, that's known.
That's what led me to my beliefs personally, was like reading historically. Like, the Catholic Church is very fucked.
Yeah, kind of is.
Um,
And the
but I
Pope's
mean-
a hologram.
Okay, I don't believe that. But
Yeah, but if you think about it, like religion, if you liken it to like Santa Claus, like if you're good, you'll be rewarded,
right.
which
It
is
was true.
heaven.
Yeah.
But if you're bad, you'll be punished.
I don't think that's what Christians believe in.
What do you mean?
I
Well,
believe
Good,
I mean that's.
good, you go to heaven. Bad, you go to hell.
I mean, if you're a good Christian, you follow the rules.
Well,
You go to
I
heaven.
guess.
the,
Well,
the
I think
idea
it's a belief
as
in
long
God.
as you repent. You could do a lot of bad, but
Exactly.
as long as you repent.
That's the thing. If you can do something bad, but there is still chance for you. So people can't just do something bad. And it's like, well, I'm going to hell, so I'll just do all the worst things I can think of.
It's not as simple as like, oh yeah, I mean, if in that case, yeah, but I mean, it's not as simple as like, you can just say,
Yeah,
okay,
you have
I'm
to
gonna kill
genuinely-
people,
yeah.
and then I believe.
Right at the last minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gotta like, yeah, you gotta.
Did you
do it, I
see?
guess.
Well, two things. Did you see the animals in different countries like circling? First of all, there's like a shit ton of videos of these animals circling. So there's a disease that makes them circle, but they've been circling for like over 20 days.
Like
so
they walk in circles.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll get to the point behind this.
All right, go ahead.
But they've been circling for like 20 plus days, which they probably should have died because they're not eating or drinking and they're circling. The reason they're circling is animals try to avoid danger. And the reason they're circling is because they can't avoid it.
Inside them.
No, I would say it's because they can't avoid this danger. So they're walking in circles nonstop, trying to avoid an imminent danger, which is believed to be, right now, is Christ or whatever people believe in coming back to earth. But the reason I also mention this is because I forget what country it is, but I believe it's of Islamic faith, where there's like a prophet or like a God reincarnated or something. This guy who came back, who's I guess performing a shit ton of miracles in this country. But what's weird about this guy is that he wears a mask. He wears like glasses, which if you were like a God reincarnated, why do you have to wear glasses? It seems like you should have perfect vision, and always wears like a hat and always covered up. So I don't think anybody really knows his identity. So maybe it's like a safety type of thing. And he walks around with bodyguards and stuff. So that's also like why is he walking around with bodyguards if he's like a god?
Yeah.
But apparently he's performing miracles and shit. I don't know the extent of these miracles, but you could look it up.
'cause
Like
there's
apparently like,
plenty
there's
of-
a ton of people.
Plenty of preachers that perform miracles.
Right. But apparently it's like people are calling him like the false prophet and shit. You guys haven't seen any of this?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I feel like this comes up multiple times throughout history.
This is
It
happening
definitely
right now.
has. Yeah.
You think maybe God reincarnated would get like LASIK eye surgery? Maybe.
I feel like he could do it to himself. You know. Sure. Why not?